every time I show up for a con, I never know where to pick up our badges. My goal is always to just come in with all of the bags and just make it in and then worry about the badges later. I do it out of order every single time. I don't know what happens. Finally found it. It's a room for all the registrations. It's like a maze, but this one's for the industry. Badges secured. Got a really nice corner spot. And a really nice helper. I forgot my own layout, so now we have to make sure that I have enough display space for all my posters. Okay, she's ready to go for tomorrow. Okay, so this is a little bit exciting, but I just discovered that my original Stamp Rally stamp doesn't like smear on my packaging, so I'm just about to spend like the next 10 minutes stamping all of these just for branding, just for the cute factor. Okay, I just had a staff member come by and give me an informational packet, but I need to show you guys this. It's so cute. It literally looks like a 2010 PowerPoint presentation. It says, still helpful, still a packet, still full of useful information. Like this. Is our Kumoricon Artist Alley manager. Resident feral queer, is your mother now, was responsible for deeply regrets it. This person, like the bios are just so funny. And then here's a guide to how to censor your 18 plus art stuff. But on the back, it's actually like a good resource for like nearby food too. And it's categorized by real-ish food, snacks, fast food, and emergency supplies. So that's actually very, very handy dandy. And what's cool is that they also provide tools here. Just anything that you might need, they have like a little surplus of it at the informational booth. So that is super helpful. Kind of love it. It's so cute.
Booth 1228, 1228 along the back air wall. Booth 1210, 1210 along the back air wall. LK doors near the Fancy Fancy on the 1223, that's 1223 along the back. Right now, 1226 along the back air wall.
This haul of sour candies. It's like pretty weighty. Can I have some? It's so chewy. Hi, okay, so let's talk about Kumoricon. Starting off with the numbers. So the event is held in the middle of November and applications opened early May. There were over 800 applications for 140 spots. I believe I remember them closing applications early because it is a jury process, because they actually take their time to look at everyone's applications. But on top of that, there were about 20 available small press spots. So Artist Alley tables, they are 6 feet long tables with a little bit of a gap in between each Artist Alley table, which I love because it gives us a little bit of breathing room between each artist. And those tables went for $210, and that included 2 badges. Small press booths are 10 by 10 and a little bit more expensive. I believe like $350 to $400, also including 2 badges. Let's talk about my experience with this con. My experience was actually kind of slow. I'm not gonna lie. This convention is very anime centric, which is fair because it is an anime convention and that makes a lot of sense. However, my art looks like this and this. It's mostly original art, and some of them have subtle references to Studio Ghibli films, which in my opinion is very generically popular and not like a hype anime, super strong fandom type, like Attack on Titan, for example. The artists that had more fan art were significantly busier than I was. And walking around just by observation, and this could be observational bias as well, but it really did seem like the OC artists or the original artists were doing much slower than the tables that cater to fandoms. And I mean, it's awesome for them because they really found their people and they're providing artwork for this popular anime. And it works out for them. It's a total win-win situation. But for original artists like me, it was definitely slower. I had my hopes up really high because I had heard amazing things about this convention. And let me just say that the organization was really, really good. Getting in was very easy, finding my badges was very easy, finding my spot, etc. That was all very easy. Tearing down and getting out was also very easy. So I can't complain too much about that. The only thing I can complain about is the amount of announcements that came on. Like I showed earlier, there are thousands of people rotating through this convention, like attendees, and every time someone lost something, they would announce it, and they read like a script. They're like someone would lose a cosplay accessory, and then they would say, all the Miku cosplayers, pat yourself down, check your pockets, check this, check that, check your hair. If it seems like you're missing an accessory, come to the Lost and Found. Like, if you're missing something, of course you go to Lost and Found. Like every 3 minutes, I swear to God. Let's just make a blanket Lost and Found reminder. You don't need to call out for every single thing that pops up. The announcements are so loud that it disrupted the purchasing process. That was the only real complaint that I can make. Otherwise, they're very attentive. Maybe they were just a little too attentive. Overall, the con for me was slow for me. However, it was really good for the people that do have fan art, that do have works that align with what is popular at the moment. However, my table mate, or my table neighbor, she was at Kumoricon last year, and she even said that this year was slow. And what hurts more is that both of us were also accepted into Anime NYC, but we chose Kumoricon because Anime NYC is just farther out and way more expensive. We chose to be at Kumoricon, and then all my other friends who went to Anime NYC, they did amazing. It was popping off over there. It was bittersweet. Portland is very, very beautiful, and the people here are so nice and kind, and it was just a lot of fun. In terms of numbers though, I can say that on day 1, I did do well enough to break even on my expenses. So that's a really healthy place to start. Day 2 and 3 was just profit for me, even though it wasn't quite the numbers that I wanted. And that's okay. That is the risk that you take as a small business owner. You are not entitled to anyone's money. Here's the breakdown of the costs that I incurred on this trip to Portland this year. So yeah. Okay, also I need to address that it is so cold here. My skin is so chapped, I am like flaking away. Okay, and there is one last thing. Some of our friends, Bandage Brigade, they focus mainly on apparel, and they are big enough where it makes more sense to ship items to a convention. And so based on last year's numbers, they shipped an appropriate amount of merchandise over, but they did not sell out. They have maxed out all of their luggage pieces, and they still have at least 1 box of merch that they can't take with them unless they pay a lot of money to take it back. So my partner and I actually offered to store their stuff in our luggage because we lightened a lot of our weight, which is a really good thing. We're gonna be in SoCal later this year in a couple of weeks for LA Comic-Con, so we'll just swing by their office and drop it off. So last night when they actually gave us the extra merch, we forgot to count. I'm just gonna crack these open and do a little head count and let them know what inventory of theirs I do have. Small business things, inventory things. So these are some of their jackets, and then they also have some of their shirts. I think these are their long sleeve shirts. And then we got this big boy. Oosh. Gee, I can't wait to do all of this, but for my own stuff,